Good morning. I'm Dr. Tom Chadzutko, Superintendent of Schools for the Diocese of Brooklyn. Alongside of me is Dr. Elizabeth Frangella, Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Supervision. We welcome you this morning for this opportunity to listen and hear about an exciting new model of supervision referenced in this presentation as the Marzano Model. However, before we do that, I'd like to first and foremost thank you for your commitment to Catholic education. As teachers within the Diocese of Brooklyn, it is your efforts, your commitment, your dedication to our children in ensuring that they succeed for the future. On a daily basis, children are entrusted to you as we see them grow and be nurtured by your leadership and your guidance. Today's discussion of supervision or observation is something that most of us do not like to have happen to us. I recall when I was a principal, it was probably one of my favorite times of the day when I had an opportunity to go through the school building and see teachers in action. As teachers within our schools, we see you in action every day. So this model of supervision or observation, the Marzano Model, is another way to further assist you in being better Catholic educators here within the Diocese of Brooklyn. As we go through today's presentation, allow us to first give you a little bit of a background as to the thinking as to why we're moving into a unified way of supervision or observation. Here within the diocese, we have 24,000 students. 24,000 students coming from various cultures, various diversity. Also, students have special needs, various needs. And as we have all heard and recognized that differentiation in 2018 is one of the essential benchmarks to ensure that our children are learning. As teachers, you all should be proud of your accomplishments. When you look at the way children graduate from our schools, going into our Catholic high schools and specialized schools, those who come back to us after high school and gone into prestigious colleges throughout the United States, it is because of the foundation that you have given them and the work that you have done on a daily basis in the classroom. By introducing you today to the Marzano Observation Model, it is our hope and our goal to continue to support you in your efforts to be teachers, great teachers here within the Diocese of Brooklyn. Allow me to introduce Liz to talk with you a little bit more about the model presented to you regarding Marzano and how this will and can help you be better teachers within the Diocese of Brooklyn.
So good morning to you. Last month, we rolled out the Marzano Model to the principals, and they had 1 day of training so far. And there will be 2 other days of training for the principals as we go through the fall and the winter. After that, we will have training for you as well. So let's talk a little bit about what the Marzano Model is like. Last year, we rolled out Domain 1. And in Domain 1, the principals were walking through your classrooms and looking to see teachers communicating high expectations to the students. What was the learning that was happening? How did they practice the skills and the strategies and the processes needed to enhance the learning for the children? All of that is part of Domain 1, but there are 3 other domains, and so as we roll out the whole model this year, you will learn all about the 4 domains. Another focus that is going to be more specific than was last year, is the focus on students' engagement. Some of you may have already gone through Advanced Ed, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but you may have been privy to the Elliott observation tool, which looks just at the student. Marzano uses the teacher and the student in the evaluation process.
This is an exciting time for us here within the Diocese and Central Office, also an exciting time for your principals. Why do we say it's an exciting time? It gives us an opportunity to become or continue to be coaches, principals being coaches for you as the teachers. It gives us an opportunity as we roll out the Marzano Model of observation and supervision, an opportunity for us to further look at your classroom environment. What's going on in your classroom? What's happening with the differentiation? What's happening with the needs of the children? What do you see as your greatest strengths as a teacher? What do you see areas as a teacher that you yourself would like to improve in? By us using the Marzano model throughout the entire diocese, it allows us to give a series of benchmarks of better understanding. So when we continue to have the professional development for your principals, it gives us an opportunity to make sure that the language that we use, the outcomes that we use, and most importantly, the benefits that we can provide to you as teachers to be more successful in the classrooms. We all use test scores. We use test scores both from the state and from the Terra Nova to look at our planning, to look at what's happening in the classroom. We also use them to help us ensure that we use higher level thinking skills. And how are those higher level thinking skills challenging our students? As we move or proceed with this model of Marzano, it also gives us an opportunity to marry or to put together, as Dr. Frangella noted, the efforts through advanced ed, the efforts through strategic planning, which each of you were part of. And most importantly, it allows us to look at how do we further engage the students. And it's all about the students to be successful in their classrooms. And how do we help you be better teachers to engage the students in the successes of higher level thinking?
So the Marzano model is an observation tool for principals to look at teachers, but it's also, in this training, will be a beneficial model to prepare principals to be better principals. We want principals to be stronger in supervision and in giving you feedback so that the topic of conversation when the observation is over is not that it was just a good job, but specific feedback on how they can help you and you can help to get students to a different level of learning. Let's talk about the logistics. The teacher prepares the pre-observation information and gives that to the principal beforehand, as you've probably done in the past. If that hasn't been your experience, that will be the experience. So you have a conversation before the principal even gets into your classroom. And that's the opportunity for you to tell the principal things that might concern you about some students, things you might be worried about, things that you might ask for help, or things that you're really proud about and you want to make sure that they focus on those areas that you're proud. So the principal then sets the dates and the times for the observations. And they may have a discussion with you about the pre-observation information and about any concerns that they may have as they enter into the observation period. After the observation occurs, the principal then will write up the formal report, and then we'll have another discussion with you, the post-observation conference. And this is critical. Many times that doesn't happen, but what we find is that when you are able to sit down and go over everything that happened during that 45-minute session, it is a strength for you to grow as a teacher, and it's also the opportunity for the principal to give you feedback and to give you encouragement. You will be then given a written and specific report on the feedback that the principal gives about the observation and about the student engagement that the principal has seen. We may suggest also that the teachers will do a self-evaluation based on the Marzano model so that you yourself can think about how you taught, what might you need help with, and what were your strengths and weaknesses, and keep that for yourself so that as you go through and write goals for the year, you'll have your own self-reflections to do that with. The principal will look at your unit plans based on the New York State standards, and that will be a point of discussion as well. Some of you may remember Teachscape. The Marzano model has an online version that is similar to Teachscape and allows you to receive feedback right away.
So as you're sitting there today listening to our message, You may be asking yourself the question, why now, and how will this make a difference? We start by looking at where we are currently in Catholic education within the Diocese of Brooklyn. As your principal may have already shared with you, we've done great strides in English language arts on the New York State tests. And that is because of the work that's happening in our schools. But as we always know, we can always do better. We've also seen great efforts to improving math. But there's a bigger picture that we need to look at. We have children coming to us as English language learners, an opportunity to help them be successful in this world. We also see this as an opportunity, which your principals have asked us for, to have a unified model of observation throughout the diocese. It allows us to have professional development planning, which we will be using through Learning Sciences, which is a company, a professional development company connected with Marzano. Thirdly, we hope, as you know, that as we've moved to local PLCs, professional learning communities, in the EPAC deanery model, we hope that teachers will come together to share their experiences and their expertise as they go through the utilization of this model. One of the things that we also would hope in this call to action is as an opportunity for us centrally at the office to continue to be present to you, whether it be by video, whether it be on site, whether it be at local faculty meetings or grade level meetings, but also more importantly, how do we help each of you become better teachers? We move from good, there's an old book out there called Good to Great. We are very good, we are great. We are good or very good. How do we all achieve unilaterally throughout this diocese, going from good to great? I'm going to ask Dr. Frangella to summarize or to further connect how Elliott and Advanced Ed, which is very important to the success of Catholic education within this diocese, how this Marzano model will further connect or integrate into the accreditation process.
So the Marzano model is an instructional model that focuses on standards-based planning, conditions for learning so that all students learn. And it will give lots of opportunities for you and your principal to speak together about teaching and learning. They will look at what students are doing, and it has a lot of similarities to the Elliott model of student engagement observations. And if you've gone through Advanced Ed and you have used the Elliott in the past, you'll remember that it focuses on what the student is doing and not what the teacher is doing. And so that's what's unique about this Marzano model. It marries the Elliott with the teacher observation piece together. We encourage you to speak with your principals after their visit to your classroom and ask questions, share concerns, encourage feedback, because we all want to work together for the good of all students. Please remember that we are here for you. When you look at that Marzano model, you'll see 4 domains. They are classroom strategies and behaviors, planning and preparing, conditions for learning, and professional responsibilities. And for you, they relate to what are the students doing, how is your classroom set up for learning, how well are you planning and preparing for your lessons and units, and how academy procedures are being followed.
As we look at summing this up and looking at where do we go from here, at the time you see this video, you'll notice that throughout the video there are various pictures of teachers teaching, students and children being engaged in learning. First and foremost, all we are doing with this project and this assessment using Marzano is to help the children be better educated. Children better understand what the society is asking them to understand. At the time you're viewing this, we will have already been communicating with your principals for nearly 4 weeks. They've had an opportunity to unpackage what they learned in September. They've had an opportunity to look at the classroom environment. They've also had the opportunity to provide you feedback on what they've seen. Stay tuned. More to come. This is not just today a video. It's today a video launching what we believe is an important initiative within this diocese. Check Option C regularly. Dr. Frangella will be posting updates on a regular basis. We will be coming to faculty meetings. We are available in the deaneries. Remember, we hope that together you would establish professional learning communities. And in closing, I want to end by saying, children are the ones we are helping. We want to help them succeed. We want to help you succeed. And together, we will make a difference in Catholic education within the diocese. We thank you for your attention. We thank you for your dedication. We thank you for all your efforts, because without you, our children would not be successful. God bless.
Thank you.